Hi guys, welcome to Robin Minds Past. My name is Desmond Ebuwa Ikunle. Special, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. There's been a 14-day lockdown in Lagos, Ogun State, and Abuja. So, what does this mean for people's job security? So, just a quick background of who Kofo is. Kofo is the head of corporate services at Self Consulting and the head of HR at Self Consulting, and she's a professional in human resources international with Professionals in Human Resources International, and she's a senior professional in human resources. I do hope I did that well.
Yes, you did well.
Fantastic. So fast, what is the process like for you who works in HR? What's the process like at your firm? Because now having to ensure that people still do the work while they stay at home, and what are the processes like since the lockdown?
Okay, so for us, even before the lockdown, we had to start remote work. So the processes that we put in place is to make sure tasks are actually smart. When I mean smart, I mean specific and measurable, and it's time bound. So we're still facing challenges with that, but we are getting there. We're not where we used to be. So what it is doing is it helps us to track the employee utilization. So you're able to know what each person is doing part-time and what each person has completed. So basically, the process is break down the task into daily tasks. From your yearly task that you have, break it down into daily task, weekly task, and then put a tracker in place. For now, we are using Trello, and there are other tools too that can help to manage performance. It depends on your budget.
I like it. What does this mean for people's job security? A friend of mine shared a mail that he got from his human resources, because a lot of businesses, the truth is, a lot of businesses have been hit by this COVID-19. So what does this mean for people's job security? Should people be scared? Like my friend who got the mail that, you wouldn't get paid till all of this is over. If the lockdown spells for like another 2 months, you have to do free work. The company is losing monies and all of that. So what does this mean for people's job security from an HR perspective?
Okay, so there is no how this issue will not come up, the issue of job security or insecurity. So first of all, my advice to employees would be to make themselves very useful during this period. A lot of people will be working from home, but they shouldn't see it as a form of holiday. Yes, most companies in Nigeria, especially the non-tech companies, they're not used to remote working. So in many things that have gone under the bridge or just under like that, like not completing a task and then moving to the next one, all those things will come to the fore. So if you're in that particular situation where you now have to work from home, you need to make yourself useful. You need to be out there. You need to those things that you had pushed aside that you're supposed to have done but were not priority back then, you should bring them, be innovative, and then contribute. You also need to learn how to cross-skill too. So if in the corporate services department, for example, and all I do is HR, I should start thinking of things in admin. Yes, most administrative work would most likely happen within the office, but that is the time for you to think outside the box. Look at what things you can do. What are those processes that are not even spelled out, that you don't necessarily need to be told, but then when the COVID, when this pandemic, when it passes, what are those things that you would still need to fall back on? I can also take on financial tasks too. Collaborate. Okay, budgeting for the. Have you done it? What do we need to do? There are many things to do that are just there lying down. So if you're going to be thinking of job security, then you should make yourself very, very relevant. So that's
What
one
about,
for employee. Another thing, okay.
mhm. No, for me, thinking about for people who have specialized skills, for somebody who's in technology, who's just who's a UI UX designer, for example, um, you're telling the person to cross skill when the only thing the person knows how to do at the time is just this. What do you say to that?
If if you're just specialized, make yourself useful. Think
Okay.
outside the box of those things. There are many things, I'm sure there are many things that we all had at one point or the time or another that we said we were going to do that we did not do. So I expect that
Hmm.
those things you bring them out and start to design them. There are what are the existing applications you use? If I'm going to use your example of a US designer, what are the things you currently use that you can improve upon? There are always things to improve upon. There are always new things to even get out of existing systems. So those are the kind of things that's the way of that's the future of work. I think we should try to start understudying and try to start practicing.
Fantastic. So finally, let's have the conversation about human resources. Having that difficult conversation with team members right now. So should what is it the right time to push for the conversation of job security when there's just been the first conversation of a 14-day lockdown? Because my friend, on the announcement by the president on Sunday, it was met by an email from his company stating that we would not be paying you. You'd have to do free work pending when this ends, this whole pandemic ends. So how do you, as an HR person, how is this the right time to push for those type of conversation, and what are the best ways to go about those difficult conversations with team members?
Okay, so the first thing is, at what stage or what's the financial health or status of that company? Those kind of things drive drastic decisions. So I really can't say whether I can't say that it was the right time to actually talk about security, because I mean, most of us or most of the Nigerian companies don't even
Mm-hmm.
have crisis management plan or a disaster plan or a contingency plan for pandemics or any other thing that may arise. So I'm not going to really dwell on that. But then if you get to that point where you think the financials can carry the company again, or you can't accommodate some financial obligations, especially to employees, the best thing is to develop a communication plan. Let the head of the team communicate. And you don't just abruptly communicate. You start to communicate. This is the situation of the company. This is what it is. This is what it is. So it's openness in communication, transparency. So you're communicating. Oh, this has started. We're going to be on lockdown. Day two. This is the amount we made, or sales has dropped drastically. You're putting percentages. You're open in your communication and transparency. Even before you get to break it to say, oh, please, your service is no longer needed. Everybody is aware. But the team head or the head of the team is also assuring them that of security too. Okay, this doesn't mean that everybody will be laid off, but this is what we need to contribute, or this is what we need to do to exist or to keep existing as a team. So I would say communication is very key in this kind of situation. And also for companies that are actually in this loophole of or that makes them unaware, the lessons learned from this would be to go back to the drawing board and develop,
Mm-hmm.
review the strategy plan for 2020, and then come up with new ways of how to better forge ahead with their business, explore other business opportunities that can also bring in money.